Welcome to a new test and teardown video. Yeah, I'm so happy to present a new Heathkit. This one is a 2 meter AM transceiver. So I'm sorry it's AM, it's a little bit obsolete for the 2 meter band today. As you can see here, the final load, final tune and driver tune, that reveals we got some tubes in this radio. It is from 1969, so that means yes, it's also full of transistors. And we got volume squelch, VFO. This is of course the VFO to set the frequency. We also got 4 crystals. Ooh, it's tough to turn that one. A battery saver or a receiver transmitter mode. This one has been modified a little bit. This is the microphone cable. Well, this is the hole for the microphone cable. It's just going out there, so there's no connectors or anything like that normally. However, somebody modified this one with a 3-pin DIN connector. So I bet there's also a transmit here or a microphone input or something like that here. There's a mounting hole here, also in the other end. The idea is this could also be a mobile. So you can have this in your car, right? So it's a little bit too big to have in a car if you ask me, but back in the 60s or the start of the 70s, it was probably not too big. I am a little bit worried about the rear view here. So this HW-17 is a little bit special when it comes to power and connectors. I don't have the mating connector for this one. It is a classic tube socket style, and this was very well used at this time. And I believe there is a transformer inside and a power supply and all that. And I've already looked a little bit in the schematics, and it looks like if we look in the schematics, you could put in mains and then short some other pins to configure this for either internal power supply or external power supply. There's also a 12 volt DC-DC converter kit you could buy. So this one could be powered off your car. Yeah, phones, a 0 meter, and an external connector for an external VFO. And this is of course why you have high voltage and filament and all that kind of stuff. BNC antenna connector. That is nice. So I believe we need to open this and have a good inspection before I power this up, and also I need to consult the schematics a lot more in deep detail to figure out how are we counting here and what is what. I think we can. Oh yes, see, there's not a big counting issue really, because they were really nice and friendly to actually write all the numbers here. So this is 1, 2, 3, and this way we go around, right? Because there's always a problem when you deal with the sockets where you don't see the numbers, like this type. So are you looking from the top or from the bottom? How are they counting when you look at the documentation? Because they sometimes forget to write exactly how are we counting. So that is always a pain. Ooh, and somebody dropped this one, right? So there's a big dent in this transistor here. So let's look inside a little bit. The first thing I see is a lot of corrosion here. Let me have a look. Let me show you. I'll put something here on the back so we can. So all this, look at that. All sorts of nasty stuff and rust around parts. That can't be good. Oh, look at this metal trimmer is completely corroded. And if this is how it looks on the outside, it's probably completely trashed on the inside. So that's the 4 crystal sockets. And we've got 2 crystals here. I don't know if you can see this, but it is in a little bit of a sad condition here. That is not so good. So that will be the 3 tubes for the transmitter. And the receiver side, no, this is the VFO, of course. So we're looking for the receivers probably on the bottom side. So let's have a look what is inside the bottom. Now that is funny. I tried to remove the screws here from the side, and that is not getting me anywhere, because I need to remove the feet as well. I was just yelling and crying, no, 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 when I took off the lid here. Oh man, this is so sad. It was definitely left outside in the rain. I don't know if you can see how badly corroded everything is here, but it's very, very bad. It's quite dry and all that, so it's probably something that happened 20 years ago. And then it turned into a fun collector's item, and now it's probably been lying in somebody's shed for many, 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 many years. But it is definitely very, very corroded all over the place. I don't know if we can clean off. All this is not going to be easy. Yeah, but this is actually all there is. I was expecting another PCB down here, so that is probably a little bit. Oh, look at that one. So that is the tune and more tune. Tiny little trim capacitor, and here's a bigger one. All those as well. I mean, if this was a home assembled one, I mean, it's quite beautiful assembled. There isn't any ugly or bad things. Oh yes, as well. Look at that pot. It's all completely dry. Not even moisture or anything, but old rust. So I don't think we can power this up. It's definitely gonna blow a fuse or something like that, right? Oh, what is that? Oh, a capacitor. Oh, what is left of it? Yeah, this is. I'm sorry. I don't dare to power this up as it is right now. I'm probably gonna cause much more pain than joy to this unit. What is that switch doing? There's a relay for, probably for RX TX, since it's connected here, right? Oh, there, see? This is the wire for the coil that goes to that one. So there's probably some voltage here, right? And then it goes to all sorts of stuff. Oh, that was a sad, sad day. but it looks so nice and beautiful here on the front. So I really had the idea this could be a more fun video. I'll go and find my paintbrush and my compressed air, and then I will see if I can make it a little bit more beautiful. Yeah, so all the VFO stuff is of course inside this little cabinet, and then the receiver stuff is outside, right? So also you see that will be the signal path of the receiver. We could open this one and have a look how bad it is in there. Ooh, here it's really badly corroded. So this is the kind of corrosion we got inside the VFO. So we need a total disassemble and sandblasting everything and replacing all the components and all that kind of stuff. It is not going to be a one-day experiment. Oh, look at the little crystal down here. This is used for the IF. This is how you create a 455 kilohertz IF with that one. Yeah. Maybe I should try and show you how effective it is with a paintbrush like this. You can actually go all the way down. See? All the way down to the dirty PCB, and then just massage all the dirt away like this. Of course, be careful not to push any components loose, right? But just get all this nasty layer of stuff. I mean, if we do this for quite a long time, I don't know, will it be safe to power this up? And all this corrosion is also inside all the different cans and coils and stuff, so it's probably just gonna blow up. And then a lot of compressed air. Oh, see all that corrosion on this, but this is of course made of iron, so that will corrode a lot. A lot of the other materials, they handle this a lot better. See that bulb? But that is of course easy to replace. The transformer, that was probably coated or painted or something, and even then it wasn't enough to protect it. So that was probably up, and then water was standing here. Or was that down? Oh, it's the same on the other side. But it is all this nasty stuff here around all the high voltage. By the way, this see? It's actually getting really nice and beautiful. Ooh, that one was a little bit. Yeah? Well. See you in a few hours. I will see if I can. See. Interesting. Oh, there's a lot of cleanup, but it's actually going quite alright. Look at that crystal. Frequency kilohertz 8020. That is one old crystal. I bet you can open it here and see what's inside. Obviously it's not waterproof or anything. Look how corroded that is. Now, just in case you want to see what is inside those old crystals, got some isolation on both sides and a spring that presses everything nicely together. And in here, there is this crystal material. But why is it pressed like that? That is a mystery. So this one you can bend up real careful, and then we can have a look. Hang on. So this is how it's made. Got some steel down here that has been grinded to be super nice and flat, and this is the crystal. And then there's another piece of steel. Again, you can see how nicely it has been grinded, and that one is on the top. So that is how it works. And then isolation to the spring. See, it's getting more and more beautiful in here. I'm cleaning up. So this is the other crystal, X1. Oh, it is really badly corroded as well. But you are able to read, oops, it should be 806 megahertz. And the way this transmitter works is there is a tripler, and a doubler. So that means it's 145.08. This is where this X1 channel would be. So when I started to clean up in this area, I had the idea this one was actually also ground, because here you can see the corrosion is just so bad. It actually took and kind of melted those two parts here together into one. So I need to clean it like that, and you can actually also see it if we look in here, right? See? The corrosion kind of melt stuff together like that. So if I just power this up before it's completely cleaned here, all this will be a short circuit, and you're probably gonna imagine what is going to happen, right? Not something good. It's just all over the place. Yeah. I don't care so much about this green stuff being on top of the copper here. That is not a problem. The problem is all the other stuff that is between the tracks. All that dirt is also conductive. So while doing a lot of cleanup in this unit, I actually realized what is written here on this switch. It says AM, FM, and nothing maybe. So that means it can do FM. Really? So this was modified, probably with a varactor diode or something like that. This is what I'm looking for. Where exactly is that? But hey man, if this is modified for FM, that is nice. And here's a little side note to myself. Actually, this little red wire must go on that point of the relay. It wasn't really soldered that well. Or was it hanging like this all the way? I should probably look in the first clip on the video. So when the sockets for the transmitter tubes were soldered, look at that. Just a tiny little drop instead of soldering all the way around. So this is probably good enough, but I would definitely have soldered the whole pin all the way around. This is how it was done. Maybe this is because they want the two sides of the pins to be a little bit flexible. When you poke around with the tube, you want this to be able to move a little bit, so there's probably a good reason for this, but it's just not looking so good. Also, a little detail: when you mount this PCB inside this aluminium frame, or this hole here, look about the alignment here. We got a pretty good safe distance and all is fine, but let's look here. What do you think about the safety distance here? And what about that one in here? I'll try and hold the camera a little bit closer. This is definitely touching, so that is something to solve. Yeah, and again the pins for that socket here again. I don't know what to do. I am very, very close to give up, because this is just a 3-day cleanup, going around every little detail here. I'm trying to see how easy it is to remove all the corroded material around all the different tracks. And as you can see, it's just full of all sorts of short circuits because of corrosion. This one is actually not that bad, but it was a lot worse over here. I really had to clean up and clean up. I think I will call this video part 1, and then I will see if I find time, energy to do a follow-up, because I feel this is a little bit too crappy to continue, because it's just way too much. Everything is so corroded. That is the switch for the VFO crystal selection, and you can see it's just, yeah.